Could the cure to your gambling addiction be found in a nasal spray? Yeah, this is legit. So there's actually going to be a study in Finland that looks at this, and it's using the nasal spray naloxone, which would theoretically block the opioid receptors in the brain. So maybe a gambler doesn't get the high from putting a lot of money on the table. So I can see this.
So, I mean, this is something they use in drug addicts, right?
Right.
And we know that there's a crossover correlation between other addictive behavior, gambling, shopping, sex addiction.
Exactly.
Eating addiction.
That's right. And gambling disorder was just recently added to the diagnostic criteria in the DSM-5. And we know that there is that crossover. They basically have the same activation in the reward centers of the brain. So this is supposedly going to help combat that.
So this is a study. It's going to be 12 weeks long. They're going to examine 130 people aged 18 plus. They're going to use the spray as needed. This is going to be a legit placebo-controlled trial, though, because they're going to have a placebo group that uses a spray that doesn't have the naloxone in it. What do you think, Dr. Nita? Do you think it'll be successful?
I do. I think it'll be successful, and I'm hopeful because, you know, if you think about it, they really need that urgent cure for their craving. So if you go into the casino and you have a craving to get to a slot machine, you use this nasal spray. By the time you can make it to the slot machine, craving's gone.
You'll just walk right by and go to the buffet instead.
Right. I am really anxious to see the results here because this could go on to other things. When my wife wants to go on a shopping spree and buy all those, all those expensive shoes,
everything except that. Everything except
those
stuff.
fancy
Stop it, likes
Chris,
that one.
I don't know. I do like those high heels.
I'm just proud.
They're pricey, but they're worth every penny. But right before shopping, a little
just sneak it under there. Well, I can see that working, but you know what? The person who's using it, though, has to have some level of insight, right? They have to know that the craving's coming on, and then they have to use it. So I think that's the tough part.
And I think they have to want. That I want.
And the one thing I will say is you do not want to get to a place where we're dealing with all addictions as just a nasal spray. You know, everyone at the shopping center is going to be whiffing naloxone because everyone. Down to my last $100. I don't want the shoes. I don't want the shoes. I still kind of want them. I really don't want the shoes.
It can turn into a whole compulsion by itself.
Yeah, it
Addiction to your nasal
I will say though, the gambling. You know, one of the biggest things is even if you've had, you know, a successful night and you made a couple of $1,000s, you know, a true gambler is going to gamble until they lose it all. So. The self-control part where, well, I'm up a couple grand.
Yeah.
Have a good night, y'all.
Doubtful.
That's part of it.
That would be good.